Hello, good morning to everyone. I am today going to talk something important, a very important talk. We oftenly hear about news about melting glaciers and result and flooding vast areas and downstream and forest fires, changes in weather conditions like. So we have ever thought why these such disasters are coming up. So one main reason can be the prime word global warming. So global warming is a word, a term when the amount of carbon dioxide aka CO2 is increased and the heat of the temperature or the heat of the globe is increased to prevent this catastrophe. One of the main steps can be plant trees, which we are growing and planting now. The second is the uses of alternative fuels. Alternative fuels, what's that? I'll tell you, and my team will be answering your all questions in this video. In today's world, the world is using fossil fuels like petrol, diesel, coal, and other types of fuels to energize their vehicles, fires, and energy consumption. More than 98% of vehicles and airplanes, ships, and cargo planes are using fossil, and the thermal plants also not only release the pollutants in the atmosphere, even the but the burning of fossil fuel release harmful oxides of the carbon, the nitrogen and sulfur also. That all things causes acid rain. We all know what is acid rain. That acid rain is also destroying our marble monuments and well known monument Taj Mahal. It's losing its beauty day by day with the help of. Besides burning the fossil fuels, the fossil fuel releases a big amount of carbon dioxide, aka CO2, in the atmosphere. It is the major contributor in the global warming, and thus we humans need to find some alternative ways of energy to depend independent on the fossil fuels. So we can use other types of energy sources like such as solar energy, hydro energy, geothermal energy, nuclear energy, and tidal energy as well as two. Now my team will let you know all these alternative energy. Now I request my team member Mehak to tell about us more about fossil fuels. Thank you very
Now,
much.
I, Maitri Kaur, will tell you about fossil fuels. Fossil fuels are also known as mineral fuels. They are formed when dead and decaying plants and animals got buried underneath the earth's crust over a million of years. The theory of fossil fuels was first introduced by Andreas Lipperius in 1597. Some examples of fossil fuels are coal, petroleum, natural gas, etc. Let us learn about the advantages and disadvantages of fossil fuels. Advantages: fossil fuels are a great source of energy. They are cheaper than alternative sources of energy. It is easier and relevant to produce energy from them. They contain carbon and hydrogen, which, when burnt, produce an enormous amount of energy. Disadvantages: in spite of being such a great source of energy, fossil fuels have no future. In the present scenario, they produce about 85% of the energy, while in the upcoming centuries it will decrease less than half, which is almost less than 40%. It is dangerous to dig fossil fuels and produce energy from them. The products which are made from fossil fuels or the byproducts of the fossil fuels pollute the environment to a large extent. These non-renewable sources of energy had polluted our environment a lot. So now let us learn about the alternative sources of energy so that we could heal our polluted environment. Now my friend Khushi Olak will tell you about wind energy.
I, Khushi Alak, will tell you about wind energy. Wind power or wind energy is the use of wind to provide mechanical power through wind turbines to form electric generators for electrical power. Wind power is a popular, sustainable, renewable source of power that has a much smaller impact on the environment compared to burning fossil fuels. The wind is an intermittent energy source which cannot be dispatched on demand. Locally, it gives variable power which is consistent for year to year but varies greatly over shorter time tasks. Therefore, it must be used together with other power sources to give a reliable supply. Advantages of wind energy: it's a clean fuel source, it creates jobs and is sustainable. Wind turbines can be built on existing farms or ranches. Disadvantages of wind energy: wind power plants can affect local wildlife. Turbines might cause of noise and aesthetic pollution. Wind energy requires expensive storage during peak production time. Now I'll ask my friend Jia to explain about solar energy.
I'm going to tell you guys about solar energy. We all know about sun. The sun does more for our planet than to just provide sunlight during daytime. Each particle of sunlight, called a photon that reaches Earth, contains energy to fuel our planet. The solar power is the ultimate resource responsible for all weather systems and resources on Earth, and enough radiations at the surface of our planet to theoretically fill the global demand of energy for nearly an entire year. Solar power is the conversion of energy from sunlight to electricity. It can be captured and used in several ways, and being a renewable form of energy, it is an important component of our clean energy future. We all know that everything in this world has its pros and cons, so now I would like to discuss some of them with you. Advantages of solar energy. Solar energy is a renewable form of energy, that is, it can never exhaust. By installing solar energy panels, one can cut down the electricity bills to a major amount. It is accessible everywhere, even in those areas where electricity lines are not possible to establish. Some disadvantages of using solar energy. Solar energy panels acquire great space. The initial cost for installing solar energy panels can be intimidating and cannot be afforded by everyone. To generate solar energy, sunlight is required, and during bad weather conditions, no solar energy can be produced. Now, my friend Prakriti will tell you guys about tidal energy.
I'm Prakriti Sharma and I am going to tell you about tidal energy. Before knowing what is tidal energy, we should know what are tides. Tides are caused by the upward and downward movement of ocean water caused by the gravitational pull of sun and moon. Now let's proceed towards what is tidal energy. Tidal energy is harnessed by converting the energy present in tides into usable forms of power, mainly electricity. Now let's know some of the uses of tidal energy. Tidal energy, like any other renewable forms of energy, is widely used for generating electricity. Tidal energy has been used in grain crushing industries for crushing grains from hundreds of years in India. Also, tidal energy's power plants prevent the coasts from ice storms. Now let's know some of the advantages and disadvantages of using tidal energy. Advantages. Tidal energy is a highly environmental friendly, renewable and inexhaustible form of energy. Tidal energy's power plants cost very low on operation and maintenance. Also, tidal energy is highly predictable form of energy. It is even more predictable than sun and wind. Now let's know some of the disadvantages of using tidal energy. Tidal energy's power plants pose negative influence on marine life forms. Also, the
Hello,
construction...
I am Vansh. Today I am going to tell you about biomass. The dead parts of plant and trees and the waste material of animals are called biomass. Biomass is the organic matter which is used as a fuel to produce energy. Biomass contains chemical energy in the form of carbon compounds. Dried biomass is the oldest source of heat energy. Biomass is easily available resource of energy. Biomass have some advantages such as it is easily available and widely spread, as it is a renewable source of energy. It is cheaper than fossil fuels. It can cause less garbage in environment. It is always available as a renewable source of energy. There are also some disadvantages of biomass. If we burn, it will produce many harmful gases which can cause diseases like asthma and cancer. It also led to deforestation. It is not entirely clean. Thank you. That's all about biomass.
Now, I, Arnav Gupta, would like to tell you about geothermal energy. What is geothermal energy? Geothermal energy is the heat that comes from subsurfaces to the Earth's surface. Geothermal energy is found in rocks and fluids present on the Earth's crust. Geothermal energy can also be found in the molten rocks, that is, magma, found beneath the Earth's surface. Where was geothermal energy founded? Geothermal energy was founded in Italy in 1904. According to International Renewable Energy Council, the usage of geothermal energy has increased from 10 gigabyte in 2010 to 13.3 gigabyte in 2018. Advantages of geothermal energy: eco-friendly. A series of experiments through scientists have shown that geothermal energy is the most eco-friendly source of energy present in the environment. Renewable. The hot reservoirs from which geothermal energy is obtained are present deep under the Earth's surface, so can be naturally replenished. Hence, geothermal energy is a sustainable as well as replenishable source of energy. Disadvantages of geothermal energy: location specific. Geothermal plants could be set up in only on those regions where this type of energy is easily accessible. So many regions in this world are not able to exploit this type of resource. Environmental discomforts. Although geothermal energy does not release any greenhouse gas, but there are a lot of gases under the Earth's surface which are released during digging, so this depletes our environment. Now, I would like to hand over the duty to Ms. Rudrakshi Kaushal so that she could explain nuclear energy.
Good morning everyone. Today I'm going to tell you about nuclear energy. Nuclear energy is formed by the splitting of uranium atoms by the chain reaction in a nuclear reactor, and this process is known as nuclear fission. The power produced in this reaction is used for heating water into steam. A steam turns a turbine and makes the nuclear energy into very useful nuclear electricity. Nuclear energy is powering the United States of America for over 60 years, and its use is already started in countries like India, Russia, etc. And the advantages of nuclear energy is it has a low cost energy, it's more reliable, it causes zero carbon emissions, and it has high energy density. The disadvantages of nuclear energy is it causes impact on the environment, it requires a lot of water to produce energy, it is non-renewable, and a meltdown at a nuclear plant can cause the catastrophic impacts on the surrounding areas. Now my friend Riya Gupta
Good morning everyone. I am Riya Gupta and today I am going to explain to you about hydro energy. Let's start by answering the question, what is hydro energy? The literal meaning of hydro energy is energy by water. When electric current is generated by the kinetic energy of flowing water, we call it hydro energy. It could be a water turbine driven electrical generator in a dam, a generator driven by water wheel in a water stream, or even an air driven electric generator. Now, some advantages of hydroelectricity. It is clean and non-polluting source of energy. No fuel is required. Water is the source of energy and it does not consume water. Dams are constructed near the rivers, so whenever the water level rises, the potential energy of water is formed. Now, disadvantages of hydroelectricity. It is highly expensive and large areas of human habitation and agriculture fields are submerged. Dams can only be created in limited areas. Uses of hydroelectricity to generate and supply clean energy. Hydroelectricity is stored during low usage and used when the demand increases. Hope this will help you.